The morning sun hit the hilltop, turning the tall grass into a sea of sharp golden blades. Shellock drove the final nail into the wooden crate with a sharp, rhythmic sound that echoed across the slope. Inside, the crate was packed to the brim with ripe, heavy red berries, their skins tight and ready to burst. He wiped his palms on his legs, satisfied with the fit. Brizzy stepped forward, her movements precise. She took a thick, braided vine rope, looped it firmly around her waist, and hooked the other end to the base of the heavy container. She turned back and winked at Shellock, a sharp, quick flash of confidence. Then she leaned into the harness. Her wings hummed a frantic, high-pitched vibration that blurred the air behind her shoulders. She pushed, her feet digging into the soft earth, muscles straining against the weight. The crate did not move. It sat heavy and stubborn, its base wedged deep into the thick, tangled stalks of the grass. Brizzy kicked, pulled, and surged, but the load remained anchored. She hit the ground for a second, pushed off again, and threw her entire weight forward. The rope went taut, humming with tension, yet the crate remained locked in place, held fast by the earth itself. Brizzy let out a sharp breath and slumped onto the dirt, her wings drooping in exhaustion. She did not look at the crate. Instead, she stared at the thick stalks of grass with narrowed eyes. She jabbed a finger toward the wooden container, her voice tight with disbelief. "It is not the weight," she insisted, pointing at the base where the crate met the ground. "An invisible monster is down there, pinning it to the earth. It has a grip like iron." Shellock watched her, his expression neutral, but Brizzy was already busy tracing shapes in the dirt, mapping out the imaginary beast she felt holding them back. She stood up, brushed the dust from her palms, and started to pace around the crate, looking for the supposed culprit. The silence of the hill returned, heavy and still. Then the air shifted. A sudden, sharp gust of wind tore across the slope, whistling through the tall grass. It caught a large, smooth, green banana leaf lying nearby. The leaf skidded across the ground, propelled by the breeze, and slid directly beneath the bottom of the wooden crate. The crate gave a sudden, sharp lurch. It tipped slightly, the base rising up off the grass stalks. The resistance vanished in an instant, and the crate began to slide. The crate did not just move, it launched. Gravity grabbed the wooden box the moment it cleared the grass, pulling it into a rapid, sliding descent. It picked up speed instantly, the smooth leaf beneath it humming against the earth. Brizzy scrambled to her feet, her wings snapping open. She surged forward, a blur of motion, trying to catch the rope that trailed behind the box. The crate hit a small bump, vaulted into the air, and landed with a heavy, rhythmic thud before accelerating again. Brizzy shouted over the wind, her voice high and frantic. "It is magic! The leaf has wings! It is flying on its own!" She dived, fingers reaching for the vine, but the crate was too fast. It swerved around a cluster of wildflowers, carving a clean, straight line through the tall grass. Brizzy buzzed harder, her flight path zigzagging as she struggled to keep pace with the runaway load. The slope grew steeper. The crate glided faster, a brown blur against the green hillside. Brizzy lunged one last time, her wings drumming against the air as the bottom of the hill rushed up to meet them. The crate showed no signs of stopping, hurtling toward the mud patch at the base of the slope. The crate slammed into the wet mud with a wet slap, settling into a complete, dead stop. Brizzy hovered overhead, wings fluttering in a slow, confused rhythm, waiting for the crate to vanish or fly away. It did not. Shellock caught up to her, his breathing steady. He did not chase the crate. Instead, he knelt by the point where the box had transitioned from grass to mud. He adjusted his magnifying goggles, the lenses clicking into place over his eyes. He reached out, picked up a single, jagged blade of grass, and held it against the side of the wooden crate. He rubbed his boot through the mud, then gestured for Brizzy to land. "Look," he said, his voice calm. "No monsters. Only the earth." He pointed to the microscopic texture of the grass blades, showing how they had locked against the rough wood grain like interlocking fingers. That was the resistance that held them back. He tapped the smooth, wet surface of the mud, then the leaf. When we moved the crate onto the smooth leaf and the slick mud, those tiny bumps disappeared. The surface became continuous. The resistance simply vanished. Brizzy blinked, her eyes widening as the logic took hold. The mystery of the invisible anchor dissolved, replaced by the simple, observable reality of friction. Brizzy did not wait for further explanation. She grabbed a smaller, curled leaf, placed it on the slick mud, and sat down with a grin. She kicked off from the top of the patch, sliding all the way to the bottom with a loud, triumphant cheer. Shellock watched her, then turned to the camera as the afternoon sun warmed the picnic site. "It is a universal force," he explained, gesturing to the landscape. "It is the reason tires grip the road so cars do not slide away, and how sleds glide across snow without resistance." He stepped closer, his expression earnest. Brizzy buzzed back to his side, winking at the lens. "Now it is your turn," she said. "Find a smooth kitchen floor. Slide across it in your socks, then take them off and try to do it barefoot." Shellock nodded, pointing toward the screen. "Feel that? That is the difference between high friction and low. Test the invisible power for yourselves." They stood together, the afternoon light casting long, soft shadows across the grass. "Science is everywhere," Brizzy added, "if you know how to look for it." With a final wave, they turned back toward their picnic, the mystery of the hill now a lesson they would carry home